Welcome back to Fit Focus Media, the podcast where we put the focus on fitness. Now, today we are joined by a very, very, very special guest, Coach Claire. Who is Coach Claire, you might ask? Well, she's just a normal person, just like you and me. But Claire, I'll let you do a little bit more of an introduction for the people who might not know, because they're going to get to know very quickly that you are an absolute bright spark in the universe. So give us a little bit of introduction on yourself and who you are.
I am Claire. I am a coach and I've just competed in bodybuilding. I competed in ICN and I've got plans to compete in the future.
Hey, nice. So with competing in ICN, what divisions were you competing in?
I went into fitness and sports. I competed in a couple of different little divisions within those categories. It was lots of fun.
Yeah, nice. It's one of those things where I know that I was at both shows and I was running around with the camera like a madman, but my memory when it comes to remembering divisions is completely shot. It's terrible. So I do need to re-ask those questions. It's one of those things I especially realized like going into the Brisbane Classic is I had a hard drive sort of set up for all the divisions and there was like 70, 80, and this was 2 days before the show. By the time the show actually started, there was like 100.
Yeah.
So there's just
100%.
so many different divisions to try and remember. So thank you for giving me a little heads up on that one again. Give us again, I guess, a little bit more insight as to how that actually went for you. You competed at both shows, both the Sunshine Coast as well as the Brisbane Classic. Placings, feelings, emotions. Like, what was it like to be there?
Yeah, so each show I did both the Sunny Coast and the Brisbane Classic, as you said. I went into the shows with a very open mind. I wasn't really expecting any really achievements from it. The achievement was just getting up on stage. So I'm super stoked with how I went. Placed in every single thing I went in. I went in 6 categories per show. So I was super, super proud of that. And to come out with a win was awesome as well. So I placed 3 first in both those shows.
Yeah, it was one of those things, as soon as you stepped up on stage, it was just like, and your winner, Claire Robinson. And your winner, Claire Robinson. It's like, oh, okay, Claire's there. All right, keep the cameras on her. We're going to get a winner here. Just make sure it's rolling the whole time. So no, you did an absolutely fantastic job up there.
Thank you.
But sort of, I guess, even more so than that, like, what was the prep like for you? Like, was this your first time competing? Have you done it before? Or?
Yeah, 100%. It was my first prep, my first competition. I decided 1 year out, I was like, I really want to compete season A, 2022, in a show. I originally wanted to go into a bikini show, and I was said that my shoulders were too big. So I was like, yeah.
It's too cramped.
Yeah. Even before I started my weightlifting journey. So that was cool to have that frame already. And then, from there, I committed to a 6-month bulk, 6-month cut. Essentially, I think 30-week prep in total. Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. My coaches just sent me through macros and battle plan. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna commit to that for like a day, let alone 30 weeks. I think that's one of the more daunting things about getting into that sort of sphere. Was there anything in particular you found, or what was it like for you? Did you find that part easy, like the committing to a diet, or was the training harder, the diet harder? What was that?
The training was second nature. I was already training 5 days a week anyway. Didn't really change much from that. I just had more structure. So I got a coach. I had a 5-day structured plan each week, which was really exciting. That part, no worries at all. But the diet, I had to really develop some new habits. I'd never tracked macros before, so I started tracking macros. But that being said, I had 1 year to practice tracking macros. By the time I got to that cut phase, it was second nature. It was so easy. It was weird not tracking.
Yeah. No, and one thing I'm kind of curious about in that sense, so I'm the sort of person where it's like, if it's like less than 3,500 calories in a day, I'm going to get cranky, I'm going to get moody, I need my dang food. What was your calories like going into that prep, and where did they actually finish up by the time you were on stage? Because you were shredding.
My coach kept me on such high macros the whole time. I was so stoked with where we sat. So I think in my bulk, I went up to like 420 carbs. I think it ended up being like, it was close to 4,000 calories.
Jesus, I think I need your coach because I like the sounds of that.
And just to put it in perspective, I was, I think, 62 kilos at my heaviest. I'm 5'2", so I'm a pretty small gal. I have the expenditure of like a man. I'm just go all the time. So that allowed me to have my calories really high.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who has sort of seen you on Instagram would know that you are very go 24/7.
Yeah,
it's pretty much high octane energy from 5 a.m. until about 9 o'clock at night every single day.
Yeah, it's just crack mode. Maybe you should cut that.
No, it's good. We do like a bit of crack mode every once in a while. That's why we take pre-workout, isn't it? Some of us, I guess, just don't need it.
Oh no, I still need it. Just level up. The question being, so my bulk had me nearly at 4,000 calories, and then up until show day, I was probably sitting about 1,800, so I only dropped to 1,800. There was 3 days that I went to 1,500 calories, which was my lowest for 3 days. That was the depletion calories. I was like hungry, and I felt like all the life was drained out of me for those 3 days. But 3 days out of a 30-week prep, that's honestly pretty solid.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty good. And from a lot of people I've sort of spoken to who do compete or are competing, that's not that dramatic for, a female going into show. Like, that's actually still pretty good macros to be on.
Definitely.
In saying that, when you were getting down to those lower calories, we're going to get the cravings, we're going to get the mood swings, we're going to get just not feeling ourselves. Was there anything in particular that, was good to just sort of help push through that, or like to get through those lower days?
Having a goal in mind definitely kept me on track. I think if I was just dieting for the sake of dieting or getting lean or looking a certain way, it would be much harder to have that sort of disciplined approach. But taking a step back, looking at the grand scheme of things, putting things in perspective, like in 2 weeks, this show is going to be done. In 2 years, I'm going to look back at this time and be like, oh, I was being so dramatic. So in the grand scheme of things...
I'm so dramatic. I was really starving to death.
I can eat.
What a complaint.
I can eat next week. It's fine.
Exactly. So I can sleep when I'm dead. I can eat when when I'm not on a show, I guess.
Yeah.
In saying that though, so you said that it was really that driving factor. If you knew that you were getting on stage, you knew you had that goal in mind. What was actually the driving force that made you want to do that to start with?
Okay, so I've been in the fitness industry for quite some time. I was a group fitness instructor for 3 years prior, and then I became a personal trainer. In that time, I had always chopped and changed between all these different fitness styles, exercise styles, training styles, but never committed to one. Like, I would do CrossFit 1 week, Fit Stop the next. Like, I would just chop and change between all these different ones. But I really wanted to see what I could do personally, and I wanted to commit to something. And this is something I had always looked up. Like, I had so many people around me doing competitions and going through this process themselves, and I was always in awe of them. And I said, I could never do that. And then I was like, well, why can't I? Why couldn't I? So I just committed from day one, and that was the best thing I did for myself. I think just really committing to myself and seeing what I could do personally.
Nice. No, I absolutely love that. So it's something I can honestly kind of relate to. It was one of those things where, growing up, going through school, I was really overweight, especially through primary school, so I got bullied a lot for that. Had a lot of effects on, my body image, self-confidence and all that, going not only through school, but into, young adult life and all that sort of stuff. And being getting into actually the competitive side of things, which I thought was going to be the complete inverse, it really helped me actually start coming to terms with a lot of things that had happened in my past and really sort of appreciating what the human body is capable of. You see so many people up on stage who look fantastic. And then, at least, I did, and especially with shooting them and, getting photos and videos and all that sort of stuff. But because of having that media access, I then got to actually meet them post-show. I got to have these conversations. I got to actually hear the journeys, the transformations, and even this last show, there's people that I shot some content for, and they were insane. And I had no idea until we started having that extra chat, just what they had actually been through to get to that point. And it really is inspiring. And for someone who sort of struggled with that growing up, it really helps sort of reinforce that fact of, hey, it is possible, it is achievable. It's not easy, It is a grind. It sucks. You're going to have to put yourself through hell a bit, but you can sort of push yourself to any point and any extreme if you actually want to make that change.
Yeah.
Which I think is really applicable to a lot of different things, pretty much anything that you do.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things, I guess, where it might seem a little strange where competing, I guess, has, in a lot of senses, a negative connotation where it's just people who are up themselves or people who are just, all they do is lift weights or, people who just want to go on stage on flex and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But really the community aspect of it and the environment that it helps put you in personally, mentally is just phenomenal.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I think that everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own reasons, and that really drives the success or not, like whether they're successful in this or whether they're not.
Yeah, nice. So going back to, I guess, almost like the previous question before that, where it was sort of like the little things that help push you through it. You said that it was just like that, knowing there was a goal. How about, again, because we're talking about, like, I guess the diet side of things here, any food hacks for people who are for people who are getting on a prep, or people who say maybe competing in season B or something like that? What are some food hacks just to help push you through those hard times?
All right, meal timing. Meal timing is key. Meal timing is everything.
Quick note, I have not had breakfast yet, so that's probably a bad one.
Yeah, there you go. Being awake from 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. and go throughout that whole time, I had to, deeper down in the prep end of things, I divided my macros into 5 meals and had them at specific times each and every day, meaning that I got an even split of my macros in each meal. So then I was like fuller for longer. It gave the illusion that my next meal wasn't too far away.
It almost takes the guessing work out of it for your body in a sense. Like you can almost like reprogram yourself to be like, okay, well, this is the way that I live. This is the way that I eat. You become self-aware of the fact that this is the energy you're going to get at this point in time. Use it to get to the next point. And it's almost like training yourself to accept that that's just the way it is to get to the desired point.
Definitely. Other than meal timing, I think finding foods that you really enjoy. When you're deeper down in prep, everything is tasty. Everything is so good. I was eating pumpkin thinking it tasted like candy. It was the best thing ever. But
people don't normally do that shit.
But finding foods that you enjoy and then incorporating them into every day. I had a square of chocolate every single day up until my show day. So I didn't feel like I was restricting myself or like denying myself of like simple things that I enjoy. Another thing, just, finding deeper down in prep, I had to cut my alcohol sugars, so I couldn't have those low calorie options that were really, really tasty and made things yummy. But I had my Pepsi Max. Outside of that, I had to cut all alcohol sugars, but I had like fruit options, things that would satisfy that sweet craving anyway.
Yeah. See, this is the one thing that I don't know if I can go with that is like my sugar-free syrups. I love that stuff. It holds me through life and it gives me a reason to push on. It's that sugar-free syrup, goddamn. No, that's awesome. So I guess if we sort of push forward now post-show, okay, so you've done all the hard work, you've had your Pepsi Max, you've come in absolutely shredded, you've taken out your divisions. What was it like for you personally post-show? Because, and again, this is a slightly odd question because I've spoken to you multiple times since then, and you've actually, from what I've heard at least, had a bit of a different response to how most people do. You seem to have actually had a very positive response, at least on the outside.
Yeah.
How's it been, I guess, like internally coming out of shows?
It has its goods and bads, as everything does, I think. The positives that have come out of show, I think, have been I get to eat again. I get to feel strong again. I get to have energy for things that aren't prep. I have like so many goals in life, business, relationships, life in general, and having energy for those things again is great. But I feel like on the negative side of things, it's hard to sort of adapt into a normal life again. I, if anything, have like experienced a little bit of like a social pressure and being social in settings that are typically normal is just a bit like, it's just a bit strange. Not necessarily overwhelming or hard or anything too bad. It's just, it feels so bizarre. And from being such a social person in the past before my prep, I think that's probably been the toughest thing to adjust But being in a reverse diet as well is hard in the sense that I'm still tracking my macros. I'm still training. The elements of prep are still definitely here, whether the show is a year away or it's 2 weeks away. I think that people assume that I have all this time to be social again, but I don't feel like I have that time yet. I'm definitely in the deeps of my reverse diet and things like that.
Yeah, I just want to kind of actually touch back on that point you just made a little bit more about the, I guess, like the social pressures. I guess almost a little bit of anxiety that comes out of, like post show. And the reason for that is I always find that when if someone has a feeling, there's probably someone else who has the exact same feeling. And if there's two people, well, then there's an even more likelihood that even more and more and more people have it. And that's very similar to what Rika Dawson actually said when I had the interview with her. She said that coming out of post show, again, she went in first time competition, cleaned out absolutely everything, took out overalls. And Rika is a lovely, lovely person, super bubbly, super over the top. But she actually said that coming out of show, she had like crippling social anxiety to the point where she would need a friend to, help her go to the shops and things like that. Like just this feeling like every eye was on her, like she had to be doing better. She had to be, like on prep. Like now she's won these shows. She's a bodybuilder. She's a pro athlete. She has to be doing this. She has to be doing that. Has to look a certain way. Has to act a certain way. I feel like there is this massive, like social pressure that just falls on the athletes who do well in a show. And again, I just want to, I guess, highlight the point that if you have felt that way coming out of it, that you're not alone. Someone who has recently done it, took out that pro card, who's normally a very bubbly and over the top person, felt the exact same way, which means there is, I would almost guarantee, a multitude of other people who have gone through the exact same thing. And I'm not here to say that it's good or bad. It's just an occurrence of it. But it is something that can be, worked through and developed on. Is there anything that you personally have found has helped with that, just in that situation that maybe someone else is going through it?
Yeah, definitely. Reaching out to people that have been through it. Rika is actually one of my best friends and she's definitely coached me through it. So it's really great knowing that she's been through it and it is normal. All of my close immediate friends and family know exactly what I'm going through as well. And just talking about it makes it normal, helps them respond to you as well. They don't put the pressure on me. It's the friends outside of that circle that I feel like have given me so much support and guidance throughout my prep. And I need to give back to them, but I just don't have the time or the energy to give back to them as I feel like I should. So I think just keeping everyone up to date with how I'm feeling and just talking about it is the best way to get through it.
Yeah, I think that's honestly probably the best way to put it is honestly just being real with the situation. Accepting the fact that there is going to be times where you weren't, I guess, as on point or as I guess close with people as you would have liked, but you can't do anything about what's already happened. It's just about accepting that and moving forward and trying to sort of get back into a sense of normality and doing the best that you can moving forward with it.
Yeah, exactly.
One other thing I just want to touch on, I guess, on those post-comp feelings is another issue that a lot of athletes have said has been a massive thing for them is, I guess, like the psychological aspect of you see yourself up on stage, especially when it comes to like the photos, the videos, the stuff that I even create. You see yourself in that sort of conditioning. You see yourself like what you're able to push yourself to, and then when you're coming back out of that, seeing that body change, the fact that you're not stage lean 24/7. How is that sort of being? Because I know that it can be a massive impact.
Yeah, it can be tough. I think I went into this competition knowing that I wanted to compete again. So having that long distance goal again in mind helped me reverse out. I know that there's a build in the progress, in the process. I need to put on weight to maintain a healthy physique and to build my physique and to really make any progress. So having that end goal in mind helps keep me sane, helps like me sort of come to terms with gaining weight. And just looking a little softer is okay. It's part of the journey, it's part of the process, and I've accepted every part of the process up until this point. So I just have to be okay with it moving forward as well.
Yeah. So really, it is just sort of taking that step back to look at the big picture again and realize that it is a process. You know, you had to, like, you started at a point to get to that point. You need to then use that as a new starting point to get to a new point. You know, it's not so much that you're relapsing or that you're losing, you're actually just developing.
Yeah, exactly. With all things, you do have to go through the waves of the journey, and we are currently on that build again, so it's just part of the process.
Nice. And being back on that build, I am actually kind of curious, like, what is the next goal for Coach Claire? What is that end goal? What is that bigger picture looking like at the moment?
Yeah, well, I don't want to step on stage again until I'm completely ready, but Coach has me in mind for season B 2023. So that gives me 14-month build this time, whereas this show I had a 6-month build before. So it's so exciting knowing that I have doubled that time to make progress and to see where my body can go and how far I can push it. 14-month build, and then I'll cut for season B 2023.
Nice.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, when it comes to actually competing, is the goal for you just to push yourself, get to the best you can and get up on stage and have a bit of fun? Is the goal to try and win a class? Is the goal to try and win a pro card? Is the goal to try and go to move to different federations? Like, what is what is your intention from it? What are those goals?
Honestly, it's just so much fun going through the process.
You madman.
I don't even think about comp as a competition. I actually banned the word comp in my prep. I called it a party. I'm getting ready for the party. So I got my coach, all my closest friends, to stop using the word comp. It's just a celebration of the time and effort that I put into that day. That party, that big party, is just the celebration. Once I get there, I've done all the hard work in between, and it's just time to get up on stage, dance, have a good time.
To be fair, you do dance up on stage, which is always a good time. So I like that.
Honestly, after that first show, I went home not even realizing that I placed, and my boyfriend brought out my medals, and I was like, there is 2 firsts in here, what? And I was so surprised. So it honestly is not a competition. I feel like a winner anyway, and it's just about the process.
Nice. So shifting gears a little bit from there, one thing that I was actually talking to Marvin about on the last episode was, I guess the main discussion there was, being a PT, running a PT business, and one of the major aspects of that was the online component, or shifting that business to an online model, so that way you can, serve a wider audience, as well as to exist in an ecosystem where physical gyms might not be accessible due to, certain conditions, or in the event that, people just don't want to go to a physical gym for whatever reason that may be. Now, personally, you have done a fantastic job, at least of what I've seen, of actually sort of building up that online presence, building up that online following. What is that, did you go into that with a particular goal or a mentality? Like, what is your attitude towards, social media, online coaching, and all that sort of stuff?
My attitude with social media, I think, is just to put something positive out there. The world is pretty dark sometimes, and going through COVID and all the waves that the world has been through, I just want to get up there, dance, show everyone, put a smile on someone's face. If I'm making one person's day, it makes my day. So that's what that's all about for me. I don't know how it's grown, to be honest. I don't know how it's grown to the point where it is. I just get up on there and I just want to put my little sparkle of Claire in the world. And that's the way I do it. But in terms of growing for an online presence, I would ideally love to be an online coach. That's where the shift is going. I'd love to be 100% online and give up the face-to-face PT. I feel like there is so much I can do online in terms of my business, and that's where the shift's going.
Nice. And I can assessment for one of those things, which is, that little bit of spark, that little bit of flair. Honestly, it was one of those things where, again, like say right now, I can put together a very composed look, a very composed attitude, or whatever you might want to say. That wasn't the case, even a few months back. It has sort of been, it is one of the things where, we do have these massive peaks and falls, and it is this massive wave. And even going through, some not so great times myself, it was one of those odd situations where I didn't even know who you were at the time. I'd never met you. And I was like, who the hell is this crazy chick dancing around on a camera, excited to be on no food? And honestly, it was great to see someone who just had so much energy and life in a world that just seemed like it was kind of dark and bleak, and everyone had given up. So I think that's probably one of the main things that has actually led to that rapid growth is just the fact that you're being yourself.
Thank you.
And you genuinely seem like you are being genuine, which is, again, a massive testament to yourself. Having the courage to do that is a massive thing to help other people, myself included. Seeing you put yourself out there and just be open about it has been a massive thing for doing the same. So I've got to say a personal thank you for that one.
Thank you.
But again, I think that's probably one of those driving factors behind the rapid growth, and what I see going into the future is just a continued onslaught of that. To be completely honest.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't always this way. I definitely had a private Instagram where I would get up and do my Thursday hype rants, and it was just all of a sudden I was like, why am I doing this in a private setting? I just want to share it with the world. I got so much positive, positive reactions from that. So I just transferred it onto my public Instagram, and yeah.
Actually kind of curious then. So talking, we've had a bit of a chat about like the actual, I guess, element of having a social media and growing a social media, but what are your personal thoughts and feelings towards social media itself?
In what sense?
So I know for me, it's one of those things where I have realized recently the amazing potential it has for, networking with people, for sharing stories, for honestly just having for self-improvement. But at the same time, I've also seen a very dark side of things like Instagram, where it causes a lot of comparison with other people. It causes a lot of self-doubt. It causes a lot of insecurity issues to re-arise and come up. It takes a lot of time where you're mentally you're straight up stressing because, is a caption completely right? Have you got the right hashtags? Is this photo in the right order? How has that been for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of what I post, I honestly don't really care whether people love it or hate it. I just post it. I'm like, this is my 2 cents. Some of my posts perform really well. Some of them don't do so well. And either way, I put my heart and soul into it, so I don't really care. Yeah, you just sort of have to take a step back, and I'm just like, I'm running my business. This is just a side it's more just a display of what my life is and what my business is and what I really value, and whether I get engagement or whether I don't really care, to be honest.
You've actually managed to hit that point of just not caring to the absolute utmost, which is pretty much perfect where you need to be to, for a good time on social media or for an online presence. It's just to be okay with putting out your ideas, your opinions, and being okay with whatever comes back at you. It really is just a thing, It's not the be all end all of everything.
I think there's definitely now probably in the last month, I've probably grown like 3,000 people or something on Instagram, and with that comes like an element of hate, which is hilarious to me. Like, I put up it's mainly like 40-year-old men that find the need to comment, and it's just hilarious, that part of it, which may have some sort of like negative impact on me. I'm like, what are these people doing? Why are they commenting like hate on my photos, where I don't really care? And that's probably been the only time that I've really like been cautious of what I say, or I reflect and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, I just don't care. I'm just gonna take a deep breath, like.
Exactly. That's perfect, and that kind of, I guess, ties into something that I've personally been trying to do a lot more in my life recently, which is, just realizing the fact that things are situational, and regardless of the situation, it all comes down to just how you interpret it and how you respond to it. The exact same thing could be posted on your wall, or could be posted on 10 other people's walls. They could all get a really negative response. They could stop posting. They could respond with hate. They could start this fire. You could see it and laugh it off. You could see it and be like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's the exact same post in the exact same situation, but the response is completely different. And because of that, the mental toll is completely different. And because of that, the actual outcome is completely different as well.
I think it applies to all things in life. Just, if you're taking yourself super seriously and you're playing the victim and you're looking at all the negative aspects in your life, it's going to take a toll on you. But if you just suck it up, old 40-year-old mate is going to have his bit to say. I mean, it says more about themselves. It's more a reflection on themselves. But just take the positive out of it. You're impacting someone in a positive way, and you just get on with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And with the online business itself, like you said, you want to take it more towards being sort of solely online and growing that aspect. Is there anything that you're doing at the moment to sort of move in that direction? Like, I guess, what is, you are the sort of person where you have this, like, like the wider outlook on things, the longer term plan. Considering where you are at the moment, where you want to be, are there things that you've sort of got in place at the moment or that you're planning out to migrate more towards that?
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, my social media and social presence and online clientele, because of that, is growing just based on a posting schedule, getting more traction on social media, it's happening pretty organically at the moment. So nothing too serious there. At the moment, I'm just trying to focus on putting my energy back into the business because that lacked a little bit during the back end of prep. So now I just have the energy to really go into building the business up again. And then from there, I've got some plans to just develop my qualifications a little bit further. So then in about 6 months, I have full ammo to go full steam ahead with the business plans.
Yeah, nice. I think that is something to be said about as well, like actually making sure that the fundamentals are in check, that everything else is right before you start turning the dial up too fast. Otherwise, you can get to a point where you've maybe got requests coming in, you've got this, that, and the other, but you just can't actually deliver. We all want to, I guess, get to point Z straight, as soon as possible. But sometimes you just have to pull back and actually slow down a little bit, make sure things are actually in the right place. It's one thing we're trying to do at the moment is actually developing more of that customer support, customer relation side of things, just so that way when people have an issue, whether it's downloading the file or a password or anything like that, we just sort of know how to actually troubleshoot it and we know what it most likely is, so that way we can fix it. Just having those little bits and pieces in place, so that way when you do start to ramp things up, you know that you've got something to fall back on, and you're not going to just crush yourself pretty much.
Definitely. With business, you're providing a service, and that's going to always be your first and foremost, whether you have 100 clients, whether you have 2. You've got to be consistent with every single one of them.
Nice. And with the with the business of Coach Claire, is it so far been like, I guess, like the personality aspect, the fact that it is you, is that like your, I guess, differentiating point, or is there anything in particular that you do that you feel is a little bit different, a little bit unique?
I think where Coach Claire becomes associated with my positive attitude and things like that. So my business, I provide a personal training service that I think anyone could deliver, any PT could deliver, but I think the aspect of being that really personal support, being that positive influence in these people's lives, being that constant happy, that driver, that motivator, I think that gives me a little bit of a competitive advantage. I don't know anyone like myself, to be honest.
To be completely fair, I don't know anyone else like you either. And it's one of those amazing things, isn't it? Where as soon as we start to realize the fact that we are one-on-one, you can really feed into that and actually enjoy it.
Absolutely.
A lot of people see the fact that they are themselves as a negative, same as what I used to. When you actually can start to realize and appreciate just how amazing that fact is, that you are you can really just let it run.
Yeah,
and sort of go with it. And have you found there's been any other sort of impacts, like positive or negative, of having a social presence?
Like maybe I feel like, particularly in this post-comp phase, I feel like I have to maintain a certain level of positivity or a certain level of engagement. But post-show, I've been feeling those social pressures and feeling like a bit overwhelmed with life. So balancing those two, I think, has been like the only negative. But really, I think it comes back to me not caring about, I love my audience and I love the people I connect with and I love the opportunities that come with it. But really, I'm just being me, so I don't really care about any negative influence that may come through that.
We got samples. So we got...
That has 10 grams of protein in it.
This?
Yeah. Have you seen
just
it?
Just like BCAAs, or
it's pre-workout.
Yeah, but is the protein coming from BCAAs?
I don't know. I was so surprised from BCAAs.
Second highest ingredient is branched chain amino acids.
There you go. That's what you get then.
Yeah, it'll just be like leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So it's not really protein.
Yeah.
They legally have to put it because Australia.
Who's
your fitness influencer? I like them all. Every one of them. Having more of a social sort of presence at the moment, is there anyone that you find yourself sort of comparing yourself to, or anyone that that can be seen in like a positive or a negative. You know, like we can see comparing someone as like you're trying to be them, or you can see it as like you're aspiring to be like them. But is there anyone, that you've found that you sort of, I guess, gravitate towards and that you try and emulate, or that you want, like, like take things from, in a sense?
There is two girls that come to mind in terms of like them running their own business, them owning their shit, and are we allowed to swear?
Well, I mean, it's already happened now. It's one of the things I personally don't really mind that much.
Okay.
As long as you don't stop and be like, if it flows naturally, I don't really give a damn.
There are two girls that I really aspire to be like. I don't necessarily want to compare myself in any sense, but aspiring to be like in terms of business and in terms of them just owning their shit. As by Lana and Chloe Bromwich, those two girls, I think they're just doing amazing things. They're putting themselves out there. They're killing the game of training, of coaching, and of online coaching specifically.
Nice. And is there, I guess, anything in particular about their style of content that you gravitate towards?
Abs by Lana puts out lots of like informational stuff, which I really love. Her sharing her personal experience as well as her training and her coaching aspects, information. And then from there, Chloe Bromwich shares a lot of her personality, a lot of her ridiculously excitable energy, and I think that's something to really aspire to be like.
Nice, awesome. Yeah. Now, I do just want to sort of wrap this one up in a quick little way, but we can't have, we can't have someone on and not be testing some form of supplement, whatever it may be. This time around, it's got to be the pre. So we're both a bit of a stim head from what I'm led to believe. What was that actually like getting into comp? Because I know a lot of people sort of they'll use stimulants to suppress the appetite to give them a little bit of an energy kick. I know one of the guys that I know who competed at the last show, he worked up to I think 1,200 milligrams a day by the end of it just to function. How did you find
my caffeine intake?
Yeah.
I kept my 2 coffees every day throughout my entire prep, and I had my pre-workout was non-negotiable. I had my pre every single day stim. That became such a sweet treat. I was like, this.
I know it's weird, eh? Like when you and again, I've never been to on stage level diets, but even when you're doing a little bit of a diet and your calories are lower, it's weird the sort of things that you do find really tasty and a pre-workout, a protein shake, or anything just lower calories or artificially sweetened. You're like, this is
give it to me.
Yeah, this is Haagen-Dazs. This is Ben and Jerry's. It's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll go for anything.
Yeah.
In saying that though, so we've got a few different options of the samples. So we've got bulk nutrition. Yeah, bulk nutrition pre 101. Pretty simple packaging.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's
Fruit Crush.
Fruit Crush.
Oh.
Fruit Crush. Okay, we got Kamikaze, which is interesting. I've had that one a few times. We got it in creamy soda. We also have Kamikaze, but in rainbow gummy.
Rainbow gummy. They get so creative with these flavors.
They do get creative. You look at, again, we got Total War. You look at some of the Total War flavors they've got these days, like Jurassic. They got ones with Jurassic Park on it and stuff like that. Vice, is this Vice City? Yeah, this is Vice City. Come on. A GTA game?
What does that mean?
So we got Total War, Vice City. We got also Total War, Vice City. And then we've got I Am Adonis.
That's what I want to be. That's what I aspire to be like. Let's go the creaming soda.
Kamikaze. All right, I'll grab do you have a shaker or I'll grab a shaker?
I do not. I usually carry one. Cheeky Power Steps plug. There you go, you've done that before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really excited for.
So have you had this before?
No, what is it? Kamikaze.
This is Kamikaze creamy soda.
Yeah, nah.
What do you normally use?
Currently, I don't know what the packet looks like. I'm a Total War fan. Love Total War. Through prep, I love Total War. I currently use.
See, I know that was one thing. So going between the two ICN shows, we had the Sunshine Coast, and then again, I showed up there to pretty much shoot it for a bit of fun. It was running back and forth between front stage and backstage, 2 camera bodies, switching between photo and video, just like a friggin' wild man trying to just shoot as much as possible, really. Then put a couple edits out from that, which had a really good response from them. So then, got in touch with ICN about, like doing the second show, opening up for pre-orders so that way we could have more people come in and sort of do, like a bigger job, a more higher scale job, and just a better job in general. There was like a week and a half's turnaround to get everything like sorted with them, all the marketing done, all the recruitment side of things done, get everything sorted, the pre-orders done, all that sort of jazz. And I wasn't even in the state for 5 of those days. My partner had surprised me with a trip to Sydney, which was like not expected. So I had a boatload of edits to get done, like as well. Somehow turned that around, and it was at the point where I was like running off of like Total War just to get out of bed. So
that's next level.
I have an odd relationship with Total War where it's just like PTSD in a sense, because like whenever I know that things are gonna be rough, that's when I normally turn to Total War. Same as like coming out of those like the Brisbane Classic show, like it was a great time. But there was 2,500 photos. And the photographer, our photographer out there was really just, the whole reason for having it out there was just to get some extra photos for the people who placed video pre-orders. And I was just going to include them as, like a bit of a giveaway bonus for those guys, which, I did, and it was fantastic. But yeah, 2,500 photos, narrowed it down to, I think, 11 or 1,200. Each one of those was individually edited, which, that was like 2 back-to-back 12-hour editing sessions to get those done. Got them, those are really good, like high interest for them. So got them up so people could actually have a look at them. And then out of nowhere, just orders started coming through for them, which again, they weren't intended to be sold to start with. That wasn't the whole point of it, but it was really, I guess, great just to sort of see the support from people. The fact that people actually liked the work that was getting put out there. But yeah, again, that's just ties back to endless sessions of editing, with Total War being the fuel of it. So I stay away from this stuff unless I know that it's going to be one of those weeks.
I mean, the work that you guys do is amazing, and for you to function daily on Total War says something to how hard you work.
Yeah, so it's rough when you don't go to the gym for a week and you're using Total War every day.
Fuck. Could not imagine. Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know what creamy soda's meant to look like really, because like
I feel like
it's pink in Australia, but if you go to like South Africa, like it's originally green creamy soda. So I guess this is.
There you go. I think all Total War is that color generally.
Yeah, just when they don't put the artificial colors in there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Cafe.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
It actually tastes like creamy soda.
It's actually pretty good.
This is like sippable. No wonder you use it to work.
It's pretty good. No, this isn't the Total War.
So it's kamikaze.
Yeah, this is kamikaze. I was just saying, because you said you use Total War. I have PTSD from Total War.
That's nice.
And actually going back to Total War, when back when the original formula was first banned, there was a supplement store like 20 minutes away from where I live, and this is like 16-year-old little crackhead pre-workout. I want to buy like 8 tubs of it.
Yeah, shit.
It's like a week after it had been banned. I spent like $600 on just buying every tub of of Total War they had, and it lasted me like 2 years.
Commitment. It's an investment. You're going to use it.
It was. Even when I moved over to the UK, I had like a tub of it with me, and it made its way over there and like made its way through the trip.
No wonder you have PTSD from Total War. That's messed up.
Yeah, because to be fair, like if you try the original and you had the original like on a consistent basis, that stuff would mess you up. Yeah. So it's like going and trying anything with that name on it. It just like reminds you of that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a little backstory of my experiences
Total War
with Total War. But yeah, let's have a little quick look, see what we actually got here. So we are doing half serves, because we got half each. But for a full serving, we're looking at 6,000 milligrams of L-citrulline. Not bad, good for a little bit of pump. 2.5 grams of betaine anhydrous. Betaine anhydrous, I think it's meant for like power, muscular power.
I actually have no idea of that ingredient.
Yeah, not sure. Beta-alanine, 2,000 milligrams, that's really low.
That is very low. It doesn't taste like you're going to scratch your face off yet. You know
when
you take that first sip and you're like...
See, a lot of people hate that. I kind of like the beta-alanine tingles.
Weird thing.
I do, because it's like, you just feel like you've had a pre-workout. And again, I'm the sort of person where I used to, going through high school, I would like bulk order, like straight everything, like straight citrulline, straight beta-alanine, straight caffeine. I would just like mix my own. It tasted nasty, but it got the job done, that's for sure. And I would straight up have like 10 grams of beta-alanine in a day, like in just one hit.
That's
so
intense.
I think you just you build a bit of a tolerance to it, and then 2 grams is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah. I had when I was going through my total war phase, one of my friends was also.
It's not a phase, coach.
The real me. I remember.
I mean, can this be the real me? But if I'm honest.
I remember this specific time I was sitting on the bench about to hit a PB. I was going for it. No spot, by the way.
What was this weight, by the way?
60 kilos. It was the first time I got 60 kilos.
Damn.
I think it was like 2 reps at that point.
I mean, that's some pretty hard, that's like guillotine level weight if you
by myself. First time going for it, I was like, it was the Total War speaking. Total War, I had my best friend had just released her first mix. She's a DJ, and I was like, rocking out to this EDM, cracked out in Total War, smashing this PB. It was a great time. I'll remember it till the day I die.
That actually sounds like the first time I ever benched 100. I think it was also fueled by original Total War.
Total War not sponsored.
Record one, please.
Please.
Sponsor us. Your protein's expensive. It's delicious. All right, moving forward, we got ashwagandha, 500 milligrams.
That's nice ingredient to have in there.
It's nice to have in there. 500 milligrams is a little bit low. Yeah. I mean, I normally take like 2 tablets of ashwagandha like pre-bed. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like ZMA, ashwagandha, and magnesium.
You got it.
Exactly.
ZMA doubling up on the
coach.
magnesium.
Thank you, coach. That one helps.
Yeah.
Hey, because you just want a little bit more in there.
Yeah,
just to make sure it's up there. The good stuff, the powdered power, as we like to call it, caffeine anhydrous.
Powdered power.
Coach Claire. So, do you know how much caffeine is in this?
I don't know this.
Can you feel how much caffeine is in this? We should have had this at the start. The conversation would have been much different. Do you want to restart?
How much? I've had a sip.
And it's half. Keep in mind we've split this. It's 350.
Oh yeah.
Which is not
That's pretty
insane. It's not insane, It's like the effects are now wearing off.
Yeah.
But you've also got 100 milligrams of dicaffeine malate. So you're at 450. I actually didn't realise that, and I've been dropping full spatulas on this shit.
Before you do like a 9 a.m. session.
That explains a little bit about my insomnia.
That magnesium ain't gonna do shit.
Alright, not gonna lie. The next ingredient I actually can't pronounce. So we're gonna skip that one. Estrogen, 50 milligrams, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually pretty impressed. Not bad. Not bad cocktail.
It's citrulline and caffeine. That's pretty much it. But really, what else do you need? It gives you a little bit of a pump and it buzzes you out of your damn mind.
That's what you want.
And the taste is on point, so I like that.
Yeah. Solid.
To be honest, I probably prefer the taste of that over Total War.
Yeah, taste that. Like that is going down super well. Have you ever mixed pre-workout with like anything carbonated?
Like Monster?
Oh yeah.
Which is insanely stupid, and I don't recommend it.
Been there, done that.
But yes, I'm a trained professional conducting experiments.
Are you really a gym rat if you haven't mixed pre-workout?
Exactly. If you've never done a dry scooping phase, are you really a gym rat? Oh, yes. I'm not condoning it or recommending it. I'm just saying my past experiences.
Oh, dry scooping, no thanks. This with like lemonade, not lemonade, like soda water would be good.
See, I was running into the
like
issue where, you like, how do you mix that properly? Because if you just put pre into it and then you
shake it up.
Yeah, but then it explodes. I mean, geez, I remember the first ever pre-workout I had, this is like little 14, 15-year-old me running around cracked out of his mind, was Eno Explode from BSN? BSN? Yeah, I think it's BSN. And at the time, I wasn't allowed to order anything online, let alone pre-workout. Yeah. So I'd had one of my mates like order it online for me with like a prepaid like debit card that I bought from the post office, so my parents didn't know that I bought pre-workout. And I'm just in my room, like, feeling like a little chemist, like, mixing the stuff in. And I start shaking. I'm like, yeah, first time ever having pre. I'm about to get cracked out and get swole. And yeah, little did I know that NO Explode, it actually carbonates itself. Like, it's got an ingredient in there that
So you don't need to shake it.
Well, not as much for sure. It somehow carbonates itself, which is stupid to have in a pre-workout. Just saying, why would you do that? So yeah, I'm just shaking away, and then I'm covered in patchy white stuff everywhere, which looks a little bit sus when I have to walk out to mum.
Sorry, mum.
Yeah, it literally went everywhere. I pretty much like my height, like over a mirror, over a wall, over me. And I didn't even get a good buzz. And then, because it also had beta-alanine, and I'd never touched pre-workout before, I was itching like absolute crazy the entire time.
You would have been.
So that was my introduction to pre-workout.
Yeah, I think mine was Chemist Warehouse C4. The way all good things start.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, exactly. C4.
I was at a supplement shop the other day, actually, and someone came in behind me and asked for C4. And this was like a grown man. I was like, you've certainly been through other pre-workouts. Why are you choosing to buy C4?
I have the exact same reaction when I see people with C4. I'm just like, have you never, first time in the gym? Never, you're a little bit nervous? A little bit scary? I know, it can be. And then we push him towards the literal crack in a bag. Back
at it again.
Well, this just went from sponsor friendly to very not.
I'm so glad you're a good editor.
Jesus Christ.
You brought it on yourself both times.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's fun. Geez, now I just lost my train of thought where I was going with that. C4. Oh, the other thing that also does that to me is the Optimum Nutrition, like the gold pre.
I don't think
Yeah, one of my mates absolutely fiends for it. Marvin, who was on the show last time, that's like all he uses, and it's literally just like a little bit of caffeine and like nothing else.
Damn.
Maybe that's just
why.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, we literally just discussed that this is just caffeine with not much else. So maybe I'm being a bit hypocritical.
Taste wise, though.
Taste wise, I mean, the gold standard is actually pretty good. It tastes like you're drinking pineapple.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I think I have never consistently stuck to a pre-workout. I change every single tub.
I mean, you got to keep your body guessing. You know?
Yeah. Keep it on. I just go to the supplement shop and I'm like, hey, what's good?
Yeah.
And they just surprise me.
I did the same thing with protein the other week.
Yeah.
It was like the first time I ever bought protein from a physical store.
Yeah.
Normally I just always ordered from My Protein.
Yeah.
But this time I just could not be bothered waiting for shipping, and I was putting it off. And I went in there, and she was just super friendly. To the point where I was like, you know what? I don't even care what I buy. You can just tell me the worst crap there is. Just, what do you recommend? And she was like, oh, I was like, all right, let's go. It's like $180.
Oh, fuck. She abused the fact that you would buy anything she sold.
To be fair, which is a similar price though to Rule 1. And that's like the cheaper Rule 1, because I only just found out there's like 3 tiers of Rule 1.
Right.
I mean, you go for like the top tier, that's like, for that size, it's like 200 and something, like $220.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you just buy in bulk. That's where it's at. It's a massive tub.
Into nothing, give a little quick game while I got you here.
Oh. On the whiteboard.
Yeah, on the whiteboard. I mean, I got the
Okay.
whiteboards. You're gonna take the big one.
Yes.
Because you're more important. I'm gonna.
Thank you.
Sorry, you speak colour. What colour do you feel in today?
Blue.
Blue. I
Matching
mean,
the light.
you're on the blue light, so I guess I better go with the red then. Even though for some reason this red, you start writing and it's more like pinky orange.
That's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It is, but you know. All right, so what we're gonna be doing with this one is we're just gonna be going through a list of. Actually, we'll start off your favorite supplement. If you just had to pick like one.
Type?
Yeah, favorite type.
Do you want me to tell you?
Or are we gonna write it down?
Oh, we're gonna write
it down. You're gonna write yours down. Okay, quick little introduction
numbers?
for the example of for this one. So we've got our 2 little whiteboards here. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going through a list of supplements and just writing down our favorite flavor of each. Then we're going to be showing each other and seeing just who has the best. Mine will definitely be better, of course. But
Okay, so it has to be a flavored
so we're gonna go with
supplement.
flavors this time, make it a little bit easier. So let's say protein. Yeah.
Okay,
What's your favorite flavor of a protein?
Yeah.
Okay. Then compare. Favorite flavor of a pre-workout.
Okay.
Then you compare. Favorite supplement, just hands down. Is it a pre? Is it a protein? Is there a particular ingredient?
Okay.
Yeah. How's that sound?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we doing the three?
We didn't
or are we
even
gonna
do a
each
review
time?
of this. In the end,
Oh, we didn't.
we didn't.
Get some more crack. When you're like, what's your favorite supplement? I was creatine. Like downright.
See, I was actually gonna say the same thing.
But flavored.
Even really, I hate flavored.
No, but that's what I mean. Like non-flavored. You asked flavored.
Yeah. So I have flavored creatine. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's terrible.
No, I mean like you just put it with your pre-workout. Or like.
I need to start getting back on that creatine. Maybe that's why I'm looking so small these days. I haven't been having creatine, man. I ran out and then because it's expensive in stores, so I normally get it online, and then I just haven't ordered it.
Yeah.
Because it's extra steps to like go to my cart and add it.
But do it for the gains.
I don't know. I feel it's one of those weird things. Like the more content that I create in fitness, the lower my fitness actually gets.
Yeah, it's like becoming a PT. You like the first thing you sacrifice is your own training.
Exactly. You know, like when you're using pre-workout to work.
Yeah.
Alright, so
game.
First one up, we're gonna go, and we'll do this like maybe a bit of a back and forth. I'll pick us up, then you pick us up. So we'll start off with pre-workout.
Flavor.
So favorite flavor of pre. Okay, and I'm going to preface this by saying that I have the literacy skills of a 3-year-old. So if basic words are spelled completely wrong, please do not judge me.
I think I spelled mine wrong as well. So my flavor turned into like a broad. I don't know. We'll roll with it. Is watermelon spelled with?
Wow.
With 1 L or 2 L.
Wow. Okay, and big reveal in 3, 2, 1.
I love it. Anything red, pineapple. That's a really wonderful pineapple. What? It looks like a grenade. It looks like a grenade.
It's because pineapple is the bomb, you know?
No way.
Pineapple is good,
Yellow
man.
flavors are the worst.
No, come on. Yellow flavors are not the worst. Banana is yellow.
Why would you get pre-workout flavors?
No, I'm just saying that banana is the colour yellow and banana tastes good. Therefore, yellow is good.
Are you a sour or sweet?
Sour.
Yeah, there you go. That's why. So you'd go for like the...
Like I do love, like one of my go-tos. Actually, we'll save that for the next one.
Next question.
Next question.
Is that an answer? Is that okay?
Well, I mean, so the point was to write down an answer. Claire wrote down 3 answers.
Anything red. That's a general
rule. You gotta go fast.
Yeah, you gotta go fast.
And there comes back Claire's crack energy.
Like creamy soda, red. In my brain, it's got a red flavor.
Okay.
Anything red means anything.
So we should probably switch sides then. You're more of a red fan, eh? So anything red, but watermelon was, I guess, like the go-to.
Like watermelon, strawberry, pink lemonade, that vibe.
Pink lemonade is pretty good.
Yeah. In the pre-made Total War, that's.
I haven't had that one.
The pre-made Total War. Have you had any of them? Like the little
Oh
bottles.
no, I haven't. See,
you haven't lived.
No, because the thing is, I always
$6
see them. I always see them there, and I'm a fiend for energy drinks. Are they carbonated?
No.
Exactly. That's I think why I don't get them is because they're always next to energy drinks, and I like the carbonation.
Do me a favor. Get a Total War pre-made. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's so good.
Right.
The pink lemonade or blue lemonade. That's the only one that I won't go that's red.
I'll give it a try. That actually kind of feeds into the next one though, which is energy drink flavor.
Oh. I'll have to pick one this time.
Exactly, just one. And with that, maybe also put. Do you reckon put the name? Yeah, like the brand of it as well, or just the flavor.
Should we write like a title? I'm gonna give it away to you, but not to the camera.
Claire.
Actually, no. Oh. Like I just want to get it right, and I know you've had it before.
No, I just want to see what I want to see what you managed to come up with. Because if you managed to actually label an energy drink that isn't an energy drink, I will be very impressed.
I know the flavor is the pink flavor, but I don't know what it's actually flavored. Like I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's right.
We'll see how we go. All right, so 3, 2, 1, and. Hey,
oh, yeah.
that is my favorite flavor.
Yeah,
I actually drank the last one the other day.
So good.
It's so good. The one thing is they do have creamy soda. I haven't tried it yet because they've been out of stock of it.
I was gonna either write creamy soda or cotton candy, but I've tried the cotton candy. I didn't know in my brain. That's what I was gonna ask.
And you probably won't be able to see the whiteboards very well, so I'm just gonna like pop up maybe like I'll put up like a photo of like what we actually show. I do love that one. Of the 5 actives, cotton candy is definitely my favorite. Probably followed by the lemonade. Yeah,
lemonade's good. I actually like the strawberry lime.
See, a lot of people don't like it. I hated the strawberry lime. And then we did a shoot with the boys probably about a month back, and got another crate from him afterwards, and he was like, "Oh yeah, what flavors do you want?" I was like, "I love them all except for the strawberry lime." So he gave me extra lemonade and no strawberry lime. And then it was like because I didn't have it, I had one left in the fridge that whole time, and I had it the other day, and I was like, "Holy crap! I think I love strawberry lime."
Yeah.
It went from like my least favorite to like my favorite.
Full favorite.
Like straight out of the gate. I think out of nowhere. It was pretty good. And if you haven't tried it yet, 5 Active is absolutely freaking awesome. A few Brizzy boys, fantastic people. Go check it out. Go give them some support. It's next level stuff. We do actually have some videos that we've actually shot with them. They haven't been released yet just because, to be honest, things have been really flat out and busy. Sorry, guys. I know if you're watching this, it's been a while. I'm sorry. I am still working on them, but they're looking good. So stay tuned for that one. Cheeky plug. Hey, it's not even a plug. It's just like they are genuinely good guys, man. Like, yeah, they're freaking awesome, and they've been really supportive of myself and Fit Focus right from the get go.
Oh, they're great guys. They train at my gym at Carindale.
Which makes me feel a little bit bad now. The fact that you listed 5 Active on there,
and you did
race. So please do me a favor. 5 Active, make a sour gummy flavor. Because Ray's sour gummy, man. There's just something about that. I love that flavor. I have a thing for sour anything, and sour gummy worms it's my go-to. Like Sour Patch Kids, it's pretty much like you're drinking Sour Patch Kids, and I froth for Sour Patch Kids.
See, Sour Patch Kids, I can't get over the fact that it tastes like my mouth is burning with acid. Like it makes me feel like my mouth is dissolving.
I love that.
I can't do sour lollies.
Yeah, the feeling of your face melting is pretty much what I go for.
No way.
I mean, to be fair, I also, like I said, I used to dry scoop 10 grams of beta-alanine, so. Alright. You're up. Next supplement of choice.
What do you mean? Oh, next flavor.
Next product.
Next product. Protein. We haven't had protein, but I feel like that's pretty generic. I don't know.
What do you mean? There is a million different flavors of protein. Though.
Yeah, no, but it's. Yeah, I suppose. All right.
And it's one that everyone uses. Yeah. We could even go with is there a particular brand that you like?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Protein's another one that I chop and change. Yeah, there is a flavor that I have in mind, so let's go protein flavors.
Yeah, it's really weird. I actually don't know the brand of the one that I had, so I'm not going to put it down just because, again, I don't even remember who it was by, but it was it pretty much tasted, it was PB2, but it was protein. It was peanut butter to the utmost degree of peanut butter.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, but I have no idea who it was by. It was just someone I used to work with. They had it, they didn't like it, so they gave it to me, and I loved it. Yeah,
we can just go flavors then, so you choose peanut butter.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not a readily available flavor, I guess, so... maybe you're more like your go-to like day to day that you would normally like love. Because I still have one in mind that I go for pretty much always.
All right, day to day. Back to the spelling.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel very disappointed in myself for this spelling effort. I've probably brought great shame to my family with this.
Okay.
Yep. Again, preface the warning. I am a high school dropout. You know, that's where
Really?
this is coming in. Yeah. I left school halfway through year 12.
Damn.
Although I actually like pretty much wagged all of year 11 to go to the gym. And like most of year 10 as well. I was not a fan. Legitimately, I used to skip school to go to the gym. I was not a fan of the schooling system, and I kind of just hated being there. I am self-taught everything that I use productively now on YouTube.
That's what a flex.
Which is another reason for doing this. Is like, hey, because I know the benefits personally that have come out of a platform like YouTube. So the ability to give back to that seems awesome. Like traditional education is like you can't really give back to that system even if you get something out of it. YouTube is a community you can actually take and give, and the more that you can give, the more you can actually you can take. So exactly. So yeah, I like that like parasympathetic relationship where it's like you feed off each other in a sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Coming from the opposite end, I ducked in high school and I still can't spell protein. So
I can spell protein.
I
dropouts, but I dropouts
I couldn't figure out.
See, I find that really funny as well because it's another thing that's maybe always want to do a podcast in a sense is the original idea before doing a Fit Focus Media one was actually more of a YouTube education versus a formal education. And you look at the first guest we had, Marvin, he is a clinical lab scientist, ridiculously smart, and yourself, going and being a duck, so that's impressive as all hell. Like I said, I'm a high school dropout. I scored very low in school. When I went to apply for the military, I did all the testing, scored really high in that, but I actually couldn't go into the military because my year 10 scores were so low in maths, science, and English, just because I did not pay attention, I did not care, that I actually got ruled out from being able to enlist. That's how bad it was.
It's that care factor. It's like you will work hard at something that you want to work hard at.
Exactly.
I just wanted to be good. So I the best. So I actually just wanted to beat my brothers. So I just worked hard at that because I had a motivator. I had a goal. But if you don't have that drive, like what's the point? I feel like I've learned nothing in school. I dropped out of uni and I feel like my path has completely changed. But yeah, it's just about that driving factor, the why.
So interesting, isn't it? And again, I look at it as being so interesting that the way that two paths can be so completely different, but yet it leads to a point where you're able to have a conversation with someone on a very similar level and in the same position at the same point in time, from two very different lines to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's all about the journey, hey?
Exactly. So back to proteins.
Yeah.
Bit of a side tangent there from protein, but
Can't spell. I don't actually know the brand of this one, but
that's all good.
That's fine.
That's all good. I can thank the lovely lady at Nutritional Warehouse who pointed me at a tub of protein for helping me out with this one. It was delicious.
I thought I drew on
you kicked off. No, done.
Let me get a sip of this before
freaking good. And this is half a serve.
I feel really energetic.
I feel buzzed. Maybe it's because I also am on an empty stomach and it's it's 12 o'clock.
Meal timing.
Perfect. All right, so 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, salted caramel.
I know that one. That's Axon's Ledge.
Axon's Ledge, that's it. Yeah. So good.
I have not tried it, but I've wanted to try it for ages.
So good. I randomly picked it up.
Well, we're going to give a quick little test of this one for that flavour. Yeah, good selection.
I randomly picked it up at a Power Sups. They recommended it to me, and then I have seen it so much on social media lately since I picked it up, and I was like, I totally set this trend.
Nice. Does it actually taste like donut?
Yes. It has that really like sweet glazed.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like make recipes with it. So like
That's awesome.
muffins and
Yeah.
like cookies and stuff, and it just tastes like.
See, I love those sort of unique flavors where they sometimes like it's very hit or miss, and when they hit,
So good.
same as like the peanut butter cup, the one that I got from EHP Labs.
Oh, yeah.
So I predominantly actually use protein to flavor my oats, which is why I actually normally use a vegan protein, because the consistency it gives and the flavor complex it gives is a lot better. I think maybe it's because it's a plant, it's a plant protein, like mixing with like oats, like a plant and a plant, it goes really well.
Yeah.
I find that whey doesn't do it as well, but the peanut butter cup on its own in like a shake literally tastes like the slightest hint of chocolate and then just peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That's what you want.
My go-to though is salted caramel.
Yeah,
to be
standard.
completely honest. I love anything salted caramel. Like I said, I use oats predominantly, and I am one of the I don't know. My like highlight in life is I am a master of cooking oatmeal. Like pro oats.
yeah.
Pro oats is my shit. Like I'm the sort of person I'd have a gym, and in that gym I would have a restaurant cafe where it's just like
Pro oats.
It's protein French toast and pro oats and like gourmet versions of that. Like that's one of my dreams. Is
Okay.
have a gourmet oat section. I love.
I'll have to get in on this because I hate oats. I
Really?
like just because of the texture, like can't get around.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
See, I mean, you can use different things to like aid in texture or manipulate
You're
texture.
so
like,
passionate.
I am passionate about my oatmeal, man, because like whey gives you a different texture, casein gives you a different texture, plant proteins give you a different texture. Using egg whites will give you a different texture and consistency as well.
Hold up. Casein.
Yeah.
Egg whites.
Yeah.
Okay. Next level.
Yeah, like legitimately,
I'm
and then you also start incorporating other things like Greek yogurt and stuff as well to give a little bit of a creaminess to it. You start putting things on top of it, like a little crack of salt, some powdered peanut butter, a little bit of extra protein powder on top as well. Some banana, whether it's mixed in or whether the banana is on top, it also influences the flavor because it's like the banana starts to like cook a little inside of it because it's hot. You can put some milk in it as well, like on top of it, and it just, oh man, I know my oats.
Yeah.
I'm passionate.
You certainly do.
So that was the other thing, like, going through, like, I guess my phase when I lost a lot of my weight, it went from being obese to almost anorexic in the sense where I tracked everything to the point where I couldn't go out for dinner with family because I would have a breakdown in the restaurant. It was terrible. But one food that I ate religiously was just oats, like different style. I would have I would literally make like 2,000 calorie bowls of oats that were like this big.
Yeah.
I know oats.
Yeah. I mean, like, great macros, great feeling of fullness.
You start adding shredded zucchini in there as well. And then
get your veggies, get your fruits.
Exactly. And then you also add the egg whites, and now you've just got low calorie fillers that pretty much turn it into like a massive oat cake in a sense. Oh.
Yeah, we need to continue this discussion.
Yeah. Hey, you think just because you're doing your Wheat Bix thing that's already been trending on TikTok that I didn't know because I don't watch TikTok. So I was very impressed. And then my girlfriend was like, that's on TikTok. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I got it from a TikTok recipe.
Yeah.
But
I was doing oats before it was cool to do oats.
But I am so, like, as even as passionate as you about my protein Wheat Bix. It tastes like cheesecake.
Yeah, I do still want to try that.
Game changer. You haven't?
I haven't tried it
All
yet.
right, one day I bring protein Wheat Bix, you bring protein oats, and we do a little trade-off.
I'd be down for that. It's a good pre-workout meal.
Yeah, 100%.
See, my problem is when it comes to things like Wheat Bix, if I have them in the house, I will eat them.
It's a problem.
Yes, because I'll eat the entire. I legitimately, right? So I have a rather addictive personality, especially because I had a lot of issues with food. Especially, I used it as a coping mechanism growing up. So I would eat like 18 to 20 Wheat Bix at a time, and just keep going back. It would start with 2 or 3. And I would literally just keep going back until it was like 20, 25. And then I would have to actually pull myself out of it and realize that I'd just done that without even cognitively realizing that I'd done it.
Doesn't it turn like cement when you have so many?
Yeah. Sure that my insides probably were.
I remember this one time my brother loaded up a bowl of 12 Wheat Bix and then he let it sit for a second, went out, and then it just solidified, and we had to get rid of it because Mum was going to find it. We buried it in the backyard.
Nice.
Under a rock, and the rock is cemented. Anyway.
So have you ever short on building supplies?
Yeah, Weet-Bix. Like, surely we'd just.
See, I mean, we've all seen like the videos on like TikTok and that of like fixing things with the noodles. Now we need to start that with Weet-Bix. It's like the Australian ghetto version.
Australian ghetto version. Build this. Oh, I
Built
love
by
it.
Weet-Bix.
Built by Weet-Bix. What's it called? Peyton?
Patent it. Sorry, nice.
Patent it.
All right,
next
supplement
question.
of choice. BCAAs? Because they can be a tricky one. Like sometimes BCAAs taste terrible.
Yeah, I don't think I've found
Sometimes
one that I like.
Really?
Yeah.
I know one that is actually freaking fantastic, but it is expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put the brand as well because I'm happy to give that one a shout out because
Yeah.
it is insane. But you don't know any?
No.
So you don't have you will just avoid BCAAs, or if someone has them like in their offer, like you'll have it, but you don't really want it.
I used to work at a group fitness center and we sold one type of BCAAs and I hated it, and I just haven't had it since. To be honest, I'm scarred. It just tastes like someone took pre-workout, put some tree leaves like from the garden in it, and it just tastes musky and gross.
And no buzz.
No buzz. No. Yeah, exactly. Like, why would I?
Yeah, a lot of them they do taste like dirt.
Yeah,
just
can't.
The one exception I found is Core Nutritionals, Core ABC Gummy Snake, man.
You and your gummies.
Yeah, it literally tastes like a bag of like your varieties of lollies that you're just drinking that, or the ounce snakes that you're just guzzling that. It's delicious.
True.
Like consistency on point, just mixes like straight away. The flavor is insane, but it is kind of expensive, which is to be expected.
Yeah. With supplements, you just sort of brace the cost. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, again, BCAA is probably the biggest waste of money you're ever going to find in the supplement world. I have always just viewed it as like the same as if I was to go buy like a bottle of Diet Right. It's like cordial. It's just it's water flavoring in a sense. Same as it's like sugar-free Gatorade powder.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Here we go. So you reckon you can't get flavored creatine, eh?
Oh yeah, I've never tried it.
All right, so
here we go.
Flavored creatine.
Give me my 5 grams.
This is not me hating on my protein. Please sponsor me. I love you. But this flavor, man, you got to work it out. It's not it.
It's not it. What flavor is it? Tropical.
Tropical.
I mean, you went for a yellow flavor. That's where you went wrong.
Oh no, it's the
not a
only
red
flavor
flavor.
they have.
It's tropical.
It's tropical.
That's sad. Should I finish my brew?
I mean, to be honest, I was not going to finish it. I was going to use it as a chaser.
Oh, it's that bad. You dry
I'm going to dry
it?
scoop this because it's what I found.
How will you taste the flavor?
So, you want to mix it?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Here you go.
All right. The reason I actually shotgun it is because I found it tastes better. It gives you like a sherbety hit when you shotgun it, and you actually mix it, you get to taste it, and that's where the problem comes in.
All right. That can be my chaser. Get old-fashioned water. I won't mix it. You go. What are you gonna mix it with? What?
Oh.
Have you ever done the cinnamon challenge?
Oh.
I can see it. It's yellow.
Oh. It's worse.
I think I'm gonna put it in water.
Oh fuck.
You did not just do that. Oh, it stinks.
I did not even mean to swear there. That was actually a genuine reaction. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
I am not okay.
Oh.
It is not it.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it is not it.
It feels like it's still in my mouth, but it's all down.
It's gone, and it's still there, eh? Mm-hmm. Again, this here, This is the reason that I actually stopped ordering protein from My Protein. This left such a bad impression that I was like, and I still like their protein, but I was like, I'm just not. I can't. I'm done.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
Yeah, and like I said, I said that I'm out of creatine. This bag is full.
Yeah. You're just choosing not to.
And I'm out of creatine.
Damn.
Is not it.
I am very impressed that you did that. You fully dry scooped that. You ate it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those weird people like cinnamon challenge. I feel like I can eat.
You can do that.
I can eat cinnamon. And it's fine. Like I've eaten like Carolina Reapers and stuff like that, just dry. And that was fine. And there's a video of it as well. Like,
different breed.
That sort of stuff's easy, man.
Yeah. Each to their own.
Honestly, that there probably harder to eat than a Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I guess I'm gonna give it a little insight. The whole reason for the reason that I was late this morning. So I was originally planning on having this all set up, but I was late this morning because I ended up driving out to Garden City to try and find a energy drink. Everywhere in Sydney, it was everywhere. I didn't try it because I was a little bit on the fence, and then I went around everywhere around Brisbane, could not find it all, and that was Bang birthday cake. Because it is my birthday, actually. It's the birthday episode.
Is it your birthday today?
It's tomorrow. Oh. It is Mother's Day. But my birthday is Mother's Day.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, so it is, in a sense, my birthday.
Oh.
So I was going to, because birthday cake has so many calories, I was going to just get a can of birthday cake energy drink. We're going to review the birthday cake energy drink. So I'm very disappointed, Queensland, for not having it.
Have you tried the purple... not Rosa, what's it, Monster?
The Rosé Monster?
No, the purple one?
Yeah, when I was living in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't found it in Australia.
I've seen some people posting it in the Gold Coast, but I haven't seen it anywhere.
I mean, yeah, because we just got the gold one here.
Yeah, the gold one. Have you tried that one before?
Yeah.
So the UK's...
No, I had the gold one here.
Oh, yeah.
In the UK, though, so you'd have red, blue, green, black, purple... I think they were the main 5. Yeah. I was always like one of those things, like, growing up in like my full on YouTube influencer bodybuilder days, like, gonna do this. You know that phase.
That
phase. That phase like 15-year-olds go through or some crap. And I was like, gonna be this influencer, make so much money, have a mansion, and then in that mansion, I'm gonna have like every Monster flavor on tap. Yeah, of course. I'm a little bit less egotistical now, and I don't give a crap about the mansion. But my Monster's on tap.
You still want to have that
yes, please.
in your apartment. You get some cakes.
You come onto the show and it's like, hey, you want a Monster?
On tap. That's the dream.
That would be fantastic.
Put it on like your vision board right up there.
Exactly.
Monster on tap.
All right. Well,
love that.
Claire, thank you very much for being on the show. Hopefully you enjoyed your time here and it was a bit of fun. I know it's still a little bit in the process of trying to find our footing and develop a bit of the style, but you were one of those people who was extremely, extremely crucial in actually starting this. So, wanted to have you on first out of the gate just to, I guess appreciate that a little bit and thank you for it. So.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It's been so much fun. I can't wait to see what it comes out to be like.
Absolute pleasure. You've already seen a little bit of the behind the scenes, what an edit looks like. So.
Exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fun. That's the word that I was looking for. But you've already smashed down your pre. I'm gonna finish this up now, and then we're gonna go train. So, yeah, you would have already seen that little edit at the start of the video, but in case you missed it, here it is again. Thank you for watching Fit Focus Media. If you have any questions whatsoever, please drop them down below in the comments. We would love to hear them, love to help out, love to answer. Check out Coach Claire on Instagram. She is absolutely amazing and going straight the way to 35 million followers. So make sure you're there early. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Cool.